What's up everyone, I'm VCI Gaming and I'm excited to show you this. This thing has 75 fertilizer makers, 28 natural gas generators, 25 transformers, over 200 big batteries. It even has 8 CO2 scrubbers and 30 thermal regulators, and they're cooling 500 sleet wheat tiles, and they'll all definitely be at least a good yield. There's no irrigation, I'm working on that, it's a work in progress. Now this entire thing here is a gigantic power station, and it's completely water cooled top to bottom, section by section, and there's even the 200 dead duplicants who helped build it, and my horrible spelling here. Alright, so let's turn it on. So basically what's going to happen is, let me get the duplicant in, I'll start it up. Basically this wheel starts to power on everything. That's usually how it is. And then once it gets going, I can kind of turn him off. I'm going to need another duplicant right here, because basically what this is a giant radiator system here. Let me bring up the gas overlay. So I'm going to pretty much feed hydrogen into this from this, like I made like a pool of hydrogen up here. And then this will pretty much cool out these tiles. Let me show you the temperature before and after. It's about 22 degrees. It's a little bit cool up here. It doesn't matter. This can be in 90 degrees, and this technique right here of warming it or of cooling it will still work, so it doesn't really matter. This is 500 sleet wheat tiles. I think it's actually scalable to 1,000 if I actually split the circuit in here in half and like make another one over here. I just don't want to do that. This thing took so long to make. I probably will do it in a future video though, to be honest. Yeah, so pretty much with the water, I have a bunch of now this thing takes a hell of a lot of water, but that's alright. You could always, there's always a geyser. Pretty much this will speckle water onto here, and then there's the gas permeable tiles and mesh tiles, and they're kind of offset down the whole thing, so it you know, does this and it cools everything off. Same thing, same concept in here, only it's set up a little bit different because the heavy watt wire is around. Basically it's the same thing. And then the fertilizer maker is kind of different. It has like a long water path going each way, and that goes all the way down to the bottom, and it ends up coming down through here. This row here actually isn't cooled, but it never really gets hot because of like this environment is always like pushing towards a vacuum. But any water that does make it down here will activate this hydro switch, and it'll pump it back into here. Same concept over here. There's a hydro switch and it pumps back in here. Now as far as this goes for in here, actually I'll come back to that in 1 second. Let's see how this is priming, because you don't want to pump too much hydrogen into here. Realize it. Yep, just in time. So deconstruct gas pipe right here, and then it'll kind of go to the next one, and we'll have to do this. I might fast forward through this part, or I'll probably explain this. So basically what's going on here is there's 4 pumps pumping in natural gas, not at their full rate. Now everything in this thing, this entire like setup, has manual on and off switches, a bunch of different atmospheric and, you know, situational switches, but then there's also a definite on and off manual for everything, and there's valves on everything. So I set these to 384 on each one. There's 4 of them, and each one of the 4 goes to, you know, basically 1/4 of the natural gas generators, and powers them. Then all the CO2 goes up to the top and gets scrubbed here, and then the water drips back down to this reservoir right here. Basically the way it's water cooled is it's pulling water from here, which is the cooler water, and kind of speckling it down through each of the systems. Look at that, doesn't that really look cool right there? Isn't that awesome? This thing is insane, it really is. It's probably not as efficient as it could be, but it definitely gets the job done. 500 sleet wheat tiles is like end game. Now as far as this, each of these fertilizer makers are in a series of 8, each with a manual on and off switch, except for the 4th row. You can't turn it off. There's only 3 fertilizer makers on it, and you have to, it's critical because it controls some of these pumps and stuff like that, like this one right here, you know? So that's unfortunate that we can't turn it off. I mean, you could, but you might fill up with water. Alright, so this one, let's check this out. Yeah, I might fast forward to this part. Oh wait, what did I just deconstruct something critical? Probably. I did, right? Yep, that was the last thing I clicked on it. Where is that? Plumbing, gas valve. I had them all set to 384. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, 389 is fine. It doesn't really matter. I wish you could type the numbers in there. That would be a lot better. Let's go ahead with deconstruct gas pipe, and we'll go over here to for this, because this is just about full. You don't want to oversaturate these. I mean, I don't think it'll really matter, but I don't like to do it anyway. Looks like we have more Duplicants dying here. A lot of hundreds of Duplicants gave their lives to get this done. Yes, pretty much you just... I might fast forward this. Basically, these are gigantic radiators. If you can see right here, the pipe has -3 degrees, hydrogen packets in them. These aren't actually overheating. Also, these have valves, so you can lower. The lower this is, the slower to cool it off, but the safer these will be. You could throw some Weezeworts in here to kind of push the limit a little bit more. I've done that. Either way, it doesn't matter. You could also use 4 if you want to. Okay, it's the third one. Yeah, the third one's almost done. So we'll go to deconstruct gas pipe. Basically, this is just a whole bunch of sleet wheat right here. And what's cool about this is, of course, they have, like everything else in the base, a manual cutoff for each one of the electrical circuits. But also, these are controlled overall by these thermo switches, which you can set the temperature. I have mine set to -27, so this is guaranteed everything in here to be a good yield. Definitely. This right side will tend to be a little bit warmer by a few degrees. Depends on, you know, I think it's kind of random actually from over here. And so if this is above 27 degrees, this is still probably going to be about 30 to 32 degrees negative. So it'll kick back over, and it's all going to be a good yield though. That's like the whole point of it. Alright, where are we at with this this piping? Yep, this one's done. Deconstruct that gas pipe. I wonder why it's doing it one at a time. I think it's confused. It's a lot of hydrogen. Yeah, basically this is like the boring part right here. But over here, this is really cool right here. I'm not sure. Well, I could tell that this isn't optimized all the way, just because these aren't always full. But I guess they don't have to be, because like I said, this has valves on everything. So you can. I set these to a little bit above 60. Each of these generators takes 60 a second, 60 natural gas a second. So I mean, maybe it's just a game thing. I'm not really sure. There's so much power generation here that it doesn't really need to be perfect. You know, I'm sure it could be, but it'd be really hard to get perfect that many. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm a noob. But let's check out the electrical grid real quick. Looks like a CPU package, kinda. We'll get back into that in 1 second. Let me see this gas, because I don't want to oversaturate these, because then they become like temperamental. So deconstruct that. We're halfway done with these. Let's see what the temperature is up here. Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. You can see, I mean, it just takes time, and it'll do it. Now, if these start to get red, these overheat at 75. It's at 57. I might have to lower it a little bit, choke it out, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I'm just kind of showing you guys this thing that I built. I'm not really actually trying to get this perfect. I know it works. I've done it. There might be actually a little bit better way to do this, because you can kind of take these out, maybe even make these gas permeable, so the temperature kind of averages itself out throughout the whole thing. I haven't really done it yet, but I'm thinking about doing that, because one thing I'm trying to add to this whole setup is irrigation for the perfect yield. Even though it's nowhere near necessary, I think it'd be really cool to accomplish that. It's really, really hard, because the water, it comes down to cooling the water down. I'm thinking maybe a system like this can work, but it doesn't really cool up too much. It would literally have to be like the size of the whole map. Maybe I'll give it a try, actually. I don't know. But I'm really happy that this works. The CO2 scrubbers are on pressure Atmos switches, so whenever there's enough pressure, I have it set, well, it should be set at 1,000. And the bottom one's set at like 400. So it tends to keep going, pretty much. But like I said, it's not really optimized perfectly, but I kind of want to, at least you have the control, so if you can optimize it, you know. It kind of has so much stuff that it works, you know. But the option is there to switch stuff on and off and change every switch there is and stuff like that, which is really cool. This one's ready to get destructed. Boom. I wonder why this is acting weird. You guys notice that? It's kind of... I wonder why it's not going through all of them. That's really weird, actually. Because it's going one more and then it's stopping. I wonder if it has to do with the valves there. Maybe. Yeah, this is a lot of sleet wheat, I'll tell you that. and I'm pretty sure like it can go to 1,000. I just think if I add any more electricity onto these circuits that the main one will actually blow, like the heavy watt wire might even blow. I don't want that to happen. We'll click this one off, we'll clip this one, and then we'll take a little bit of a thermal check. Now I know a couple of the batteries get hot, but I know how to fix that, I just haven't actually done it yet. Okay, so let's go to thermals. Yeah, so these couple of batteries on the end, it's no surprise that they're on the end. The way I have this set up with mesh tiles so the water flows through and then gas permeable, if I were to extend this a couple more, then the water would be able to flow on this side of the battery. It hits this battery, but it never really gets to these batteries, so that's easily fixable. It's just a lot of work to move this because I have OCD really bad, so I'll have to move all these wires out too. Alright, let's go with the gases. Awesome. 2 more, well one and a third, not even. Imagine what you could do with 500 sleet weed. I think my duplicant is about to die. Both of them are incapacitated. I have to put them with the rest in the graveyard. Alright, let's put them where they have to go. Oh god. There's so many dupes here. Plus their souls. Oh, bye, mate. Look, I hate when they scream. I feel so bad doing this. I put a natural gas geyser in there so it makes it quick on them. They don't suffer, I promise. Okay, alright, the last one's going. After that we'll kind of look at the temperatures. I know this works, this is 100% working. I used to use 3 lines of 2 of piping. This is all granite, by the way, it has to be granite. At least in this current build of the game, this granite I think is the best, pretty sure it's the best. Oh, we have a little mistake right here. I have to reconnect the pipe. Let me clip this right here first. Alright, so let's go to plumbing, gas pipe, granite. Yeah, I must have clipped it there by accident. Let's check the thermals here on these thermal regulators. Yeah, they get a little bit hot. You can throw a couple of Weezworths in here. For the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna. You can see that it's working. This is already down to 9, the oxygen that is. The pipe is at about the same. Over here it should be in the negatives. Yeah, it's just about there. You can twiddle around with these and change the flow rate, and it'll cool up quicker the more you let through. You just don't want to oversaturate them because you don't want a bunch of 1,000 gram or kilogram packets sitting in there. But this will definitely work, and they'll all turn blue regardless of the environment. I put oxygen in here so it's not like they're cold because of out here. This is actually warmer in here than it is out there. That's kind of like the proof there. Got some poopy in there. Yeah, now it's starting to get low. And over time, when these pipes start to feed the thermal regulators with cooler air, cooler hydrogen, these will actually warm up a little, or cool down, and they'll have to work less. And once the atmos switches start turning them off, they'll even get some time to rest. So yeah, I mean, that's it. This thing uses a ton of water. There's about 10 steam geysers up here. I don't know if it needs that many. I just put them there, so I never really had to worry about it. It does use a bunch of hydrogen, but I mean, you don't really have to have this whole system. The main part of this was I'm like a sleet weed junkie. I really want to figure out the best way to make artificial ice biomes, and this seems to work pretty good. And it's definitely scalable, and it's nice and neat and everything. You could throw some Weezworts in there if you need to. It probably actually helps a little bit, keeps them cool, allows you to, expedite this process and make it much quicker. There's the water cooling pretty much at its finest. This hasn't even got halfway down yet. That's how long this thing takes to actually prime. Oh, good, this actually happened. When this gets low, you can kick on another switch or two, and these will turn on the fertilizer makers, and it'll start producing more. So I haven't really got the balance down of how many need to be on at any given time, but it doesn't really matter because by the time it actually balances itself out, you'll have the 500 sleet wheat grain, which is the whole purpose of this entire thing. It's pretty cool. I don't really know what else to say about it. This doesn't flood the buildings. It's pretty much always running. I can show you, I wanted to show you guys the electrical grid. Yeah, so like I said, each of these is a series of 8 except for one of them, which is right here, which attaches to this pump. Each of the critical components, like the pumps here, and especially these gas pumps, are on their own safe circuit right in here. And it could always be charged by this guy. It never really has to though, because, well, actually, you know what? I should honestly make this transformer just for these right here, but it's fine. Yeah, pretty much that's it, guys. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. A bunch of more videos coming your way. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.